And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dan and Kyle Do Hollywood. With me today, I have my esteemed co-host, Dagger.
Oh, we're live?
Yes.
A heads up would have been nice.
He's gonna murder you.
Sorry, I was busy taking first in arena, something TPK doesn't know about.
Oh my god.
How's he going to murder him when he's already dead?
Anyways,
Right.
we have Dagger.
Yes, of course.
We have our interim returning producer, Fruguy.
With a pay raise.
We forgot the pay
No,
raise.
a bonus, not a pay raise.
We gave him a signing bonus and a pay raise.
No, we did not give him a pay raise.
Oh, we didn't.
We told him
apparently
we were, but we aren't actually doing that.
Oh, okay.
You're only middle
So they
manager,
saved the best
Dagger.
for last.
And also with us, we have the lovely wife of Deadpool Kyle, Lady Pool.
Brown noser.
Hi, they saved the best for last. Yeah, he is brown nosing. Brown nosing so bad right now.
Oh my goodness. I can't even right now.
Alright, so can you odd?
I can probably odd.
Can you ever?
I don't know about that. So,
Alright.
this week in Swugga has been rather busy.
Tell me more.
We've got
Tell me more. Tell me more.
focus. Anyways, we got more information about the quote-unquote relics. The Escape podcast, Scotty completely snapped on, which was enjoyable to listen to. People are getting burnt out still. I had 2 people in my alliance quit again. What else did we get? We get, we're going to talk about, Darth Revan returning with Lady Pool and Fruguy describing their experiences with the event. That should be fun. And she beat it by herself. She didn't need my help. I'm so proud.
You were asleep and were not waking up anyway, so I kind of had
That's
no choice.
besides the point. But, yes.
We're also going to talk about regrets. We're going to have kind of a cool discussion / DPK rant, although it's going to sound like a 2-year-old crying. We also start TB this week, and we'll tell you how we did in TW last week. We also have a couple other things as we wind down that we will get to then, and if we have time, as always, we will talk about mods and fix B mods.
Did you say Bigsby mods?
6B
Oh,
mods.
okay. I'm sorry. I heard
There were
Bixby.
purple mods.
Oh yeah.
There were purple mods. Those are 6B mods.
Yes, they are. So.
I can colors, guys. I'm a real boy.
Can you taste the
I'm
rainbow?
a real boy.
Yes.
Anyways, because we're just super disorganized, because the person who actually runs the show from his computer didn't show up last week to our actual show prep. We're a little frazzled and a little pushed for time today.
Yeah, so
which is ironic because the one who doesn't run his computer showed up.
Well, the one who runs his life showed up.
I did.
How am I being tagged?
Anyway, moving on.
News and notes.
Oh, anyways. News and notes. So we talked about we were getting uploaded a interesting video about relics, which I find funny that they're putting resources into getting us
Use your
a
words.
video instead
Right?
of I don't know. What have we been complaining about the last, I don't know, 4 weeks now? New content.
TB.
Your latent homosexuality.
Not quite.
Wah, wah.
Not quite. But, anyways.
Well, you haven't been talking to your lady pool then. You should probably open up lines of communication that'll lead to a healthier marriage.
But,
That's the problem.
Oh
He's
my God.
opening up.
I'm gonna get killed. Don't read chat either.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
anyways. So, they posted a nice, nice video, which I still...
We had the State of the Galaxy.
Yes, Grey Sater, playing... Yes. New content equals playing the video. Yes. No. Absolutely not. Yes, we had the State of the Galaxy.
Seriously, Dagger? Seriously?
What? You might want water or juice. I don't know.
Dagger's gonna
Wait,
die
what did I miss?
tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so
Anyways.
moving on.
So,
I'm with Nev. I blame Finn.
I mean,
Finn's
that's...
being very mean to Lady Pool.
Ooh, ouch. So, now that we're through the open, let's move on to the DR update.
And that was just the opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, DPK only has 2 of them.
And poo comes out of both.
Oh, I hate you guys.
Oh my God.
Oh dear God.
Anyway.
Didn't we have a developer Q&A last week too?
Oh yes, we did have a developer Q&A. What were your feelings on the Q&A, Dagger?
Meh.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. They addressed some interesting topics, but I feel like most of the topics that got asked kind of got meme answered.
Yeah.
TVMA. Sorry, Nev.
Well, we're gonna get to
By
that.
the way,
At the end.
since,
We're gonna get to that because we're gonna have a short outro at the end of the Swugga talk before we transition into the second half of the show, and we'll have a couple announcements to make there.
Yes, we will.
Since DPK never actually mentioned it, I'm taking questions for near the end of the show. If you guys have any, just post them in the chitty chat, and I will grab them.
Yes. So the State of the Galaxy happened where they talked about Grand Arena Championships and the matchmaking. They talked about the cheating, and they said we're getting relics, and that we are going to get essentially said we're going to get
Yeah. And then also eventually we will get 6 D through A mods. Because mods.
Yep. Mods are great.
Absolutely.
Oh, fun fact, I played the same guy in my last finals in GAC that I played in one of my finals from the previous GAC.
Oh, nice.
Fun fact. He was a little upset that he had to. Like I recognized your name and I knew what you had in the back wall, and he still couldn't beat my back wall. So that felt good. Also, well, to set the bar extremely low, TPK has better mods than he did.
Fun fact, that's the truth.
So I'm just saying, it felt bad. I don't remember all the people I beat, but he remembered the people. Apparently I was his only loss.
Twice.
So at least to me, the matchmaking has been getting better. Well, air quotes better. They all feel competitive. I'm not gonna say that they're. I think the matchmaking is still kind of trash because like I'm still fighting people with way more Gear 12s, way more like Zetas, way more Gear 13s, right? Because they don't weight. I don't feel like they weight things properly. But that's a different rant for a different time. This is unfortunately TB week, so I'll kind of calm it on the PvP talk for a bit.
Yay! Territory battles! Woo!
While we talk to Frugai and Ladypool about their experiences getting Darth Revan and both of their first experiences with Kyrotax. Why don't you kick us off, Frugai? How'd your event go?
Well, I got Darth Revan fairly easily. When I started the event, I had Juhani at I think Gear 5, so I was able to get through. I believe it was tiers 3, 4, and 5 very easily. Everybody says tier 5 is the hard one because if you leave the middle droid, I don't know what it does if you kill everything but that one. But anyways, I killed the 2 outside ones and then killed the middle one and didn't have any problems with it. When I got to tier 6, that's when I could hardly get anything going against Bastila. Watched a few videos trying to figure out what to do, and I ended up just gearing up Juhani. I got her to Gear 7, and after getting her to Gear 7, it probably took me between 20 and 30 attempts, mainly because it's the RNG factor of being able to land a stun on Bastila. Because what I found is once I landed that stun, then I could that allowed Jolie and Darth Revan to last long enough to kill Bastila. I came close a couple of times, and she took like 2 or 3 turns in a row and killed the tunes and everything, but I eventually got it. And as of today, my Darth Revan is Gear 10. So I've already blown through getting the 2 Kyrotex needed for Darth Revan.
You mentioned Juhani. What was the gear of the other 4 characters?
Bastila and HK were both Gear 12. I had them Gear 12 a long time ago in preparation for using Darth Revan, that whole team. Although I still need a good 5th, if I'm ever able to get enough speed on Darth Revan to really climb up towards the top of arena. Yeah, Canderous was Gear 11, not Canderous. Karth was Gear 11, and my Canderous was Gear 8, I believe. So, yeah, with those levels, I was able to get it done pretty quickly. Like
nice.
I don't think I spent more than an hour and a half trying to finish the event.
So one of the things I actually liked is I actually liked the event itself, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more with Ladypool. But I really liked the way the event was structured as someone who played KOTOR. It really kind of, it wasn't as in depth with the game, but like it felt like it was kind of KOTOR-ish, didn't it?
I guess
so. As someone who has seen DPK playing KOTOR, yes. I definitely think it was a little had a bit of the KOTOR vibes.
Yes. I also love the fact that like this event gave us a bunch of like gear, and I think you got Zeta mats at one, and you got an Omega at another one. I don't quite remember what all the rewards were, but there were really good rewards in this event.
Yeah, you got like 7 Omegas, I think, out of it. I think it was 5 Zeta mats, or maybe not 5 Zeta mats, but it was still a few.
Hey, a few is better than none, right?
Yes.
Most
So
definitely.
Ladypool, sorry, Fru. Ladypool, how'd your event go? I
It
know
actually
you had
went
to.
pretty well.
I know you really had to push to get there in time.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. And without a bit of help, I wouldn't have been able to get there in time. But I was. I think it was at the tier 5 that I had to stop and gear Juhani more up a little more. Because when I started it, I think she was at, I want to say like gear 10. And I think I needed her for gear 11 for that tier. So I had to pause after the first try through of it, I think, and gear up a little more, mess with one of the mods. But I got her up there. She's gear 12 now, and HK was already gear 11. Dude, HK is my favorite. I love HK. Like, straight up. His lines during the event, best things ever. Loved it. But,
Yes.
the
One of us had to
hardest...
go find you a best of for HK's quotes too.
Yeah, I think that was Brainkill, or maybe Quinn. One of those two, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But,
didn't remember who, so I just said one of us.
yeah, I don't remember either because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when we had that conversation. So
Yeah,
I don't
because
even remember.
you live in an uncivilized time zone. It was only midnight where I live.
East Coast is not uncivilized
You see,
for
you
the
say
most part.
that.
Anyway, but I think it was tier 6 with the 2 droid. Well, actually, with all the bots. That one threw me for a minute because I forgot I had to get. I think you told me that actually. I had to get the little bots before focusing on the big one in the middle. That one took me 2 turns to get it, but yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was not quite as difficult as I thought it would be. And I am not looking forward to the Malik event because I've heard that one's a pain in the ass. Oops,
What are you talking
sorry,
about?
language.
CBK will just do it for you.
No, he'll probably be asleep again like this time, and I'll do it
It's not
myself.
breaking terms of service if you give your husband your phone, right?
They did say that it isn't terms of service.
You're not going into her account.
Exactly.
Right?
It's totally
She's going
different.
into her account, and then you're playing the event.
Exactly.
Anyway. But yeah, Karth was and still is gear 11. So is Canderous, and HK is still gear 11 too. I didn't even have him gear 12. Juhani's gear 12. And Good Basti was gear 12 too, but I don't remember if I used Good Basti in it or not.
You did not.
Yeah, I didn't think I did. I was like, wait a minute. No, I think there's only the one Basti.
Yep. So what gear do you have your Darth Revan to now?
There you are. Revan is about to turn gear 10. I just need some more of the, I think it's the MK8 armor mods.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's the Kyrotech computer. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah. That's gonna be the wall for a lot of the players. They're not the easiest
wall
piece
for
to
me,
farm.
The wall for me is actually the stun guns. I farm the Kyrotechs faster than I do the freaking stun guns. The stun guns have me ready to just stab the game, but Kyrotechs haven't been that bad for me yet. So I'm a little happy on that part. And I don't want to jinx it. Like, I'm legitimately knocking on wood right now to not jinx that.
This is probably a bad time to tell you that I have 11 stun gun prototypes made.
I hate you. I don't like you right now.
I'm just not a
I
car
don't like you.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you had your tunes as high gear as you did, because, I mean, I definitely went through it and didn't have any problems with the low gear tunes.
I had them as high gear as I did because DPK was on my ass about that. He's like, make sure you gear, gear. And I
she's
had
getting
been
a viable
farming for
team out of
so long. I had been farming for so long at that point that I had a lot of gear stacked up already, so I was able to just like blow through the levels of gear quicker than I planned on. So that definitely helps.
To quote Mobile Gamer today,
helped.
it is the galaxy of gyros, not the galaxy of.
It is the galaxy
Is
of
that really
gear,
what he said?
mods, and
He did.
Kairos.
Oh, I haven't watched the video yet. I was running late at work.
I'm multitasking because he put it out not that long ago.
Yeah, that's
All right. So
okay, so you guys are
congratulations
being
on your
oddly
Darth
quiet
Revan
tonight, and it's weird.
Who is?
You guys are a lot more talkative normally, so I'm a little like,
We will get to why later on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats. All right. Don't make me yell Wampa really loud.
She's upset. She's really cranky and tired. So.
So, congratulations both of you on getting Darth Revan.
Yes, that's a big step.
I recommend Gear 12ing Zelbar and putting a Zeta on mission, and Gear 12ing Canderous, and Gear 11 plus a Zeta on Karth.
Actually, speaking of that, if I can unlock my phone again, Zalbar, I just geared him up today, and I almost have him at Gear 11.
Nice.
Already. And I already have mission at Gear 12 with availability to get her to Gear 13, but I'm not doing it yet. And she's already got a Zeta on her.
Nice.
Thank y'all.
So, now that we kind of talked about the new stuff that we have, let's talk about some of the stuff that we wish we didn't have. What are some of your guys' regrets?
Farming enough Chirotechs prior.
Yeah. Is that like the only one?
And quite possibly like recording the Draven event because it was amusing. It was. HK misses me greatly.
My regrets are a lot more targeted, we'll call them. For example, gearing Juhani
I
past
had more targeted ones.
Gearing Juhani past Gear 1 is a regret. Right? Putting any amount of resources into her whatsoever was a regret. Putting the Zeta back on Finn was definitely a regret. Probably not I won't say following my heart, but probably not deciding I wanted to play the game the way I want to play and actually like enjoying the Troopers team. So, and not finishing them was a regret. I have finished them now, but taking, a year and a half to finish them is a regret. Right? There are plenty of other smaller things, but those are just three of the big ones I think I'd hit on because like those are the biggest ones, I think. For my roster specifically.
See, I actually kind of disagree with the Juhani thing, because I actually like where I have her. My only regret on that is that her unique got leveled a little higher than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, you want a hard stop at 6. Let this be a PSA to everyone. If you're going to invest in Juhani, stop her unique at 6. Otherwise, she goes stealth, and then she doesn't taunt.
Unless you plan on putting the Zeta on her at the same time.
Yeah, so the other problem, I bash on Juhani a lot. The problem with her is that she's slow, squishy, and has no DPS. She also doesn't put down dots, so she doesn't help the Karth team. there's just a laundry list of reasons why I don't think she's good. And I think that if you do gear her, the literal best place for her is with Jedi Knight Revan, because he gives Jedi Knight Revan the extra stats. I just don't think she's good, and she's not required for Darth Revan. You don't need her high gear for Darth Revan, and you don't need her to exist to get Darth Malak.
Yeah.
So with all of that like being the case, I just think that she's not really worth investing in.
You want to lay with me? You are laying with me.
So Grey Satyr, the newer generation of players.
I did not realize my mic was open.
Has a little bit of advantage over the older players like myself, who's been playing since launch. We inflated our GP so we could, try to push our guilds in territory battles. So there's a lot of people call it, we have fluffy syndrome. So the newer generation of players, they're a lot more focused, because when I started, I never expected it to last this long. I never expected it to go this in depth.
I know I definitely moved everyone up to level 50 for mod storage, so I can see them on swugger.gg.
I mean, I think we're all a little bit guilty on that.
That's another That's not a regret, because while it did fluff my roster, I'm 100% okay with the bottom third of my roster being like level 50 gear 4. That doesn't bother me. Everyone's gonna have some fluff.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be at the bottom of my roster as opposed to at the top.
Right.
Because if you go and look at a lot of people's rosters, they have Zetas on things like Savage and Maul. Things you don't use anymore. So I'm at least glad that my fluff is at the bottom of my roster and not being counted towards GAC matchmaking.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't have a Gear 11 Zeta Hera, right? I don't have that clogging up the middle of my tunes that are being registered for GAC.
Ha. So
you didn't have to admit that it was yours that I was talking about.
So it was coming anyways. I have some regrets as myself. Back in the day, was struggling with the Thrawn event. I was not in the guild, and so about a year and a half ago, I decided to join Cubs' old alliance, or Cubs' alliance, Good as Dumb. And then that's when I started getting really focused, and I got to a place where I was being more comfortable. I was around people that had similar aspirations as I did in the game. Plain and simple.
Trust me, as somebody who lived with him during that time, this is accurate as hell. He was less grouchy.
Yeah, I was constantly, purging inactives, all that good stuff. I was... I liked my old guild. I was close with them. I helped a lot of them, because we had when we got newer players, I was helping them through the events and whatnot, and telling them what to focus on, going for Thrawn first, blah blah blah. But when I first did the Thrawn event, let me pull my Phoenix up real quick. If the game loads. There we go. Yay, I got syringes. See, as soon as I'm done with Malik's Nubian scanners, that's all I get from Pit Raid. Anyways, so Phoenix, there it is. As you guys are about to see, I have 3 Zetas on my Phoenix. a very undeserving set of Zetas. I don't regret Kanan's.
He doesn't have the good. He doesn't even have the good ones Zeted.
I know, but I did it because it helped me through the Thrawn event. I really haven't geared anybody, I think, since I did the Thrawn event like 2 years ago. So yeah, there's, I've got a gear 11. Wait, she might be gear 10. Let me. Oh no, she is gear 11. Okay, never mind. A gear 11 Zeta Hera, a gear 10 Zeta Zeb, gear 11 Ezra, who's probably getting the Karth treatment for a while. He's not going to be getting a super stun gun anytime soon. A Zeta gear 8 Kanan, which Kanan's Zeta is actually a pretty darn good one, but probably not one you need for the event. So that's probably one of my biggest regrets is putting those 3 Zetas on.
We should talk about some of the stuff we don't regret right after this too.
Oh yes.
Crew Guy, what are some of your regrets? Or sorry, DPK, did you have more? Well, you have a long list. But I mean, like Swugga specific.
Well, another regret.
Took me a minute. You got it.
Another regret that I have is before I joined Good as Dumb, I did not focus on mods like I should have. And my play has suffered because of it, because I just don't have the mod depth that most of my counterparts that
contemporaries.
Yeah, that
that's the word you're looking for.
Have. And it sucks, but it is what it is, and I'm slowly getting back into the grind of getting better mods. So there's that. Those are probably my biggest regrets, is just mods and those couple Zetas.
Yeah.
Right, Free Guy, what are your regrets in the game?
I guess not taking ships as seriously as I should have, because that's the main part of the game that I kind of lack in. Even though I do get top 50 rewards, I don't. I can't break into the top 20, so there's no way I can get more than just the 50 crystals from it. So I don't really have any Zeta regrets, because I've kind of had good counsel ever since I started taking the game a little bit more seriously, and all of the Zetas I put on are ones that are necessary to make the teams work, or make the tunes work in some form or fashion. So I've kind of been lucky in that regard. But mainly, it's just ships.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of go snake here. What are some of the things in this game you don't regret? What are some of the decisions that you made that you are happy that you made?
The group of people that I play with. It's one of the things.
I think you put that in the wrong checklist.
That's DPK. He's still unsure about a lot of things. So.
Yep.
The first guild I was in, our friend, fellow officer Quinn, he was trying to get things sort of going with that guild, and the leader was basically absent. I don't know. I guess he had quit the game or whatever. So I started looking for another one that led me to joining Bladeborn, and then like a day or two later, Quinlan joined, uh, and we still have several of the ones that were in that guild when I joined in February of 2017 that are still in it now, are still playing together.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good group of guys over there. DPK, what are some of the things that you're happy that you did? It's a short list, but try and come up with a couple.
To be honest, before Palp and Vader got their reworks at the beginning of last year, I actually had them both at Gear 12. So when Scion and basically the quote-unquote Nightmare Squad came out last year, I was very happy to, all I had to do is pretty much gear Scion, and he even in Arena, like, he was viable at the lower star levels to at least climb. That really helped me get into the competitive portion of the game, and I was a step ahead. All I had to do was place a Zeta on, Palpatine, and boom, I had an arena team that was, viable. I hung out in probably like the 1500s or something before I joined, and then when Palpatine got his rework, I shot up to like in the hundreds pretty much overnight. That was one of the better things I can think of that I've done in the game, and pretty proud of. What else? I've got one of the biggest things I'm glad I did is actually change the guilds. Like I said earlier, I loved the guys I was with, but I needed something. We were just starting to complete heroic tank raid, and I wanted to be more competitive. I needed those competitive edge characters, like so I joined a guild that was pretty close to going heroic Sith, and I joined Gid, and I've never really looked back, and can't say I'm upset about it. And that's the point in this game, is you got to play with people that are going to push you to play better, and that's what I did.
If they're going to go somewhere completely different when you said push, like off a cliff.
Haha. Not quite.
Ladypool, what are some of the things that you're happy about, decisions you made about this game?
Well, first is to actually play the game. Start off with
Solid.
that one. Yeah, I say that mainly because I used to give DPK, and still do on occasion, a lot of crap for playing this so religiously. To the point where I literally would have to smack him with a pillow just to get his attention sometimes. So yeah. Other than that, kind of taking a step back from it at the same time, to like reacquaint myself with the fun aspect of it. With the previous guild I was in, it was becoming too much of just focusing on just territory battles and everything else, and making sure you had every tiny little freaking thing. And that doesn't bother me. Don't get me wrong, it does not bother me. But it was just especially with the territory battles, it started to get too much and started to like take away the fun, and that bothered me greatly. So I had to take a step back from that and join CRF, and refined my like for the game. But I definitely like where I'm headed with the game now, though, with the characters. Definitely starting to focus more on mods because I need more mod work. I really do. But other than that, I don't have any regrets, and I like what I'm doing.
Nice.
So,
The biggest thing I don't regret is not farming characters from Cantina. And if you know what I'm talking about, you've been playing this game too fucking long. But I do not regret farming mods instead of characters. I'm not trying to say I have the best mods, but like DPK farms characters instead of mods, and you can see the difference in our accounts. I've been able to get to this top and stay at the top. I mean, obviously, once you get to the top, it's a lot easier to stay there because you're getting a higher income, which allows you to progress faster, which allows you to build up the next meta faster, hoard more, farm more mods to keep up and stay ahead. Anyways, it just kind of snowballed. But I was lucky enough, with the help of some money, because a lot of competitive players have dumped a fair amount of money in this game. I'm not going to disclose how much I've spent here, but if you've talked to me on other servers, you have a pretty good idea, because I'm pretty straightforward about it. I just don't want, people actually knowing how much I spent on this game. Right? I don't know how many of my IRL friends actually watch this or listen to this. So,
hey, McGayus.
Please don't shame me. Please don't shame me.
Shame spending. Or spend shaming.
Right? Joke's on you. You bought an engagement ring. Look at you spending all that money on something that's going to last a decade. and take all your money. That's in no way bitterness
Little
from
did
me.
he know, he realized he done messed up.
So I don't really have that many. I have, obviously starting playing this game was a huge one too, but that's like the biggest thing I don't regret was going after mods instead of characters. It made me wait, over a year or whatever to get JTR. I got JTR the fourth?
Yeah,
fourth time? I want to say I got JTR the fourth time.
Yeah.
I got her last year about this time. So I think I got her the fourth time around.
Yeah.
Because I didn't farm the vets. So I kind of regret that, but at the same time, now I tell new players to just skip JTR, so I don't feel so bad about that either. She has not aged well. Hopefully she comes back to the meta this fall, winter.
Soon, TM.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping she's not just a paperweight in the new meta, just it validates her.
Yeah, that would be nice to have meaning behind my Gear 13 Jedi training, right?
Right. So now that we've kind of talked about things that we both regret and are good choices in the game, let's talk about CG. Let's talk about relics and Gear 13. The things we never asked for and never wanted.
But we're getting anyways.
And on top of that, we're getting Mods 3.0, it appears, soon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm over the game, but I'm kind of over giving CG the benefit of the doubt to a certain extent because they're acting like their game is dying. And now don't misquote me. I'm not saying the game is dying.
We're not saying the sky is falling.
I'm saying that CG's actions are squeezing paywalls closer and closer together, and the goalposts are escalating faster and faster, right? We just got Gear 13 2 months ago. We're going to get Relics probably in the next couple of months. It took, how long did it take? 8 months between Gear 12 and Gear 12 Plus, and then a year and a half to get Gear 13. And now we're getting Gear 14 through 20, 3 months after we get Gear 13.
No, they're red stars, obviously, you dagger.
All I'm trying to say is it's frustrating because these are all things we didn't want. On top of that, we'll get to this right after this, but TB. They reskinned Hoth instead of giving us something new. I would have loved something new. I mean, there are rumors of pod racing and vehicles, and I hope that they implement those in I don't want to say a non-monetization way, but I hope that they implement those in a way that is
luck.
both new and established player friendly, and doesn't require you to buy Malik. Or, things like that. I really hope that if they do bring in a new game mode, it's not just so they can just like make a Malik in every game mode, right? We have Darth Revan in Arena. We went from Revan to Jedi to Darth Revan in Arena, and then we have the Falcon in Fleet Arena, right? We've had Boogeymen for like a year, right? We've had Boogeyman in every. It's just really frustrating because I feel like CG doesn't really care about us. They're giving us things we don't want and things we don't need, and they're not really giving us very many quality of life improvements. Like they're busy fixing the cheating, which is that them fixing the cheating is taking away from giving us quality of life, not taking away from new content they're working on that's going to make them money, right? So that they're reallocating, that the time and the work, the man hours that they're reallocating are coming from our side, right?
Yeah.
They're coming from giving us stuff as opposed to instead of making the game better for us, sacrificing themselves a little to actually fix their game for us to play, they're sacrificing us to help us, right? They're going to say, we're only going to work on one thing for you guys at a time, and instead of quality of life, we're going to try and tackle cheating, which is going to be like a multi-month process, which is going to take 3 to 5 GACs probably. And even then, it's not going to be perfect because we need a battle log, and it's really just that simple. And even the battle log's not going to tell us everything. And I know I'm kind of just like, I took DPK's rant he wanted to do and taking it for myself. So I'll kind of calm down a little bit, but it's just really frustrating because I love this game and I want it to succeed, and I'm not giving you any more money, right? I'm just gonna fall behind. I like GAC. Arena sucks anyways.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, DPK. I'll rest for a second.
Catch your breath,
I think
Dagger.
I should have
Catch
a
your breath.
timer for when you guys go on rants. So I can just go, all right, time's up. Ding, ding, ding. Next.
I'm not 6. I can ring myself in.
So, a lot of what Dagger said is how I feel about the game. We literally just got Gear 13. I've always been kind of an advocate for CG. I've always kind of given them the benefit of the doubt, and I've said, just stick it out, it'll be all right.
1 second, quick.
Yeah.
So CG Eric responded on Reddit saying, the footage was captured out of a development build. We do not have plans to release new mods at this time. Eventually, but not now.
Yeah. I mean, they mentioned that in the Q&A. So
well, no. He just responded on the thing saying that the purple mods don't mean that they're adding new mods like soon.
Yeah. So I mean,
so here's hoping that they wait like another 6 months.
Yeah.
Mods 2.0 already sucks enough. Let's not do Mod 3.0 unless you're gonna actually give us.
Yeah. But a lot of the frustration with the game. I've been playing this game going on 4 years, and I've even gotten to the point where I've got my wife playing the game, and the whole forced meta is really draining my sanity and my enjoyment in the game. I will say the last couple months, since it's been nice to be able to work on the things that I want to work on. Like when Grievous got his rework, I moved him, up to the priority after, because at the time I was gearing my Old Republic. Being able to work on a character that I actually enjoyed in the Clone Wars. That I loved Grievous in the Clone Wars. In the movies, he's kind of a pansy, to put it nicely. But it's nice to be able to work at my own pace, so to say. I'm not panic farming. You know, I before Padme came back around, I gear 13 Grievous, and I literally walked through the event. And you know, having to not work at somebody else's pace is definitely refreshing. Taking a step back and saying, well, I'm going to make my roster better if I do this, instead of, you know, panicking like everybody else. Being able to, you know, get top 20 in arena regularly is actually rather nice. I recently just got into my Shard chat, and it's actually a really good group of guys, and I like them. We've been doing a little bit of testing. You know, people say, "Hey, how's my Padme?" And I go in and you know, obviously my mods aren't like as good as theirs, but you know, they're not the worst in my Shard, to say the least. So there's I've been enjoying the game because I've actually made friends like Dagger and Fruguy. The people in my
Using the word friend a little liberally there, are we? Or loosely, I mean.
Well, to be honest, even when this game dies, I think I'm going to keep in touch with you guys, or try to at least, because, you know, real life does happen, and after Swaga dies, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll just be staring blankly at my phone.
You're gonna resume your mission to drive me absolutely insane?
Probably. But,
I mean, seriously.
I think I want this game to succeed, and the route they're going, I don't think it's definitely not the right route. They're trying to milk this for what it's worth, and I've always seen it from a business standpoint. You know, I get it. You're making money. Go ahead, try to capitalize on it. But there comes a point where you gotta step back and realize you're making your player base, and it's not just medium spenders like myself and Dagger, or that are speaking out. The free to play that's not just free speaking out. It's the whales, it's the krakens that are speaking out too, and you're messing with your money, CG. You are upsetting a lot of people, and I don't think you realize it. Yes, there are some. All
right, we're gonna need to move on. We're gonna need to move on a little quicker here if we're gonna fit everything in. But basically, you're taking money out of our pockets to gear up our tunes, and you're still not giving us any way to actually play with them. I think that's the biggest complaint, and we just keep different. We keep coming at it from different directions. But the TLDR is you keep raising the gear level to keep us from completing our characters while not giving us any places to actually use them.
Yeah, you don't give us a place to use our toys.
Yep.
So that's our rant for today. It was a little bit long-winded.
Well, we also started late.
Yeah.
Yes,
so trying to move on a little quicker.
So if you guys want to, it's territory week, territory battle week. I had my good friend Paul record something for me for the podcast, and here it is. So, Lady Pool, can you mute your mic? There's background noise, please. Thank you. So here's the recording.
Hi, this is Paul Anthony from the Escape Podcast, and this week is Territory Battle Week in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Remember to do your combat missions, platoon your assignments, and listen to your territory battle officers. Or else.
So.
Yawn, territory battles, hit auto, get your 28 stars, move on.
So how is your guild looking to improve this time around on territory battles, or are we all kind of just stuck in a loop getting the...
We are a significant ways away from 20. We were close to 29, lost 3 people, picked up 3 lower GP people with slightly worse teams. Right, we traded 15 million for 10 million with slightly worse rosters, so we're further away from 29 than we were. So
Gotcha.
We're pretty much just locked into 28.
That's rough.
If Fruguy wants to talk about CRF a little bit, he can. I don't know if he's back yet.
I think we can get 16 this time. We've gained a little bit in GP. I think the last time we did GO, we were about 147 or 150 million. Now we're just past 160 million. So I think we can gain.
You did do Hoth last time, right?
Yeah, we did Hoth last time.
So it's been a month since you've tried Geo, which is hopefully, right, like a month to everybody work on their teams and everything?
Yeah, I mean, we gained 10 Maliks in that time because of the Malik event. So not that we'll probably do much with the platoons in that matter because, we need that extra 70 more million GP to really be able to platoon everything we need to gain those quote unquote slight benefits that they give us. So we'll just continue doing like we've been doing and stick around hopefully 15 to 17 stars in GOTB.
That kind of covers Lady Pool as well. I guess she can tell you. I guess she didn't tell everybody about it yet, so go for it.
What? I zoned out. Sorry, what?
Why aren't we asking you how many stars your guild is getting in TW or TB?
A stress, I guess. Like
What? No.
I don't know. Just
That's what? No.
It's because you're in Fruguy's guild. We asked him.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that one.
You moved
That
guilds.
one.
I know. I was
guilds
getting
since
to
the last guild.
No, I know. I was getting to that, but DPK kind of just like bombarded in there with like, what? No, and it threw me off. I'm like, thank you for just totally stealing what I was going to say, butthead. Like, grr.
If my head's a butt, there's a lot of hair on that butt.
Yikes. Abort mission. Abort mission.
I mean, that would have had to happen about 15 years before KOTOR came out. She's only 14 in that game.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. TW, we won both of ours. Yawn. I'll answer for Fruguy. They split. How'd you do, DPK?
Well, we split as well. We absolutely walked on our first opponent, and then we got our asses handed to us in the second one. We got sandbagged pretty well. So,
Call out the guild. They deserve to be shamed for sandbagging.
It was the guild we got sandbagged was by Legacy Force. They're a 226 mil guild, and my guild's 206 million. We had 3 people not sign up. They had, I believe, 8 people not sign up. So we had to place 21 teams, but all their whales, their five they had, I think, 7 or 8 5 mil guild, 5 mil people in their guild, and they all signed up. Trust me, they all signed up.
So we're gonna skip over mods for this week because there's not a ton to talk about. Hopefully next week we can get a Zoom up and running. We have communication issues and people get busy. But one of the things I was hoping to do was I was going to remod at least one character on the stream and discuss kind of why, or talk about new characters that come out and how to mod them, or come up with some way of like featuring a team and then like kind of going over how we have them modded. So if you guys have suggestions or care more for one than the other, feel free to let us know. We do the Swugga and Star Wars stuff for you guys. The rest of it we kind of just do for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of skip right down and we're gonna kind of wind down here. Lady Pool's been picking up your questions. I don't know how many we have.
2. We have 2 questions.
So let's get to the questions real quick. Grace Ader
Okay.
had a couple good questions in there that I'm kind of itching to answer.
Yep.
Well, he's itching, but that's
the
because
first one. Anyway, moving on before Dagger just goes off. Stop. Anyway,
Don't derail the
Grace
stream.
Sater with the first one says, lane vehicles, a way to get us to Gear 13, the tunes that we don't need or use in the same vein as ship crew development. Thoughts?
My hope is that it is an extra game mode that allows you to do a mini raid. My dream for that scenario would be that it's a mini raid you do yourself on your own time to unlock an average to above average Wampa and Nest style character, right? So it's like a raid you do yourself that you don't really need characters for, right? You just kind of grind it out, like a survival mode or whatever, and you slowly unlock a character over time. That's like my best case scenario. What is it going to be? You're probably going to need the gear pilots, star pilots, and they're probably going to give you crystals for winning. It's not going to be what we want. It's going to be what CG needs.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of Batman. Instead of getting what we deserve, we get what CG needs, which is money.
Excuse me. So, next question. Do you think that the State of Galaxy updates will make them more accessible, or do you think they'll continue to short answer and deflect harder questions?
Well, they're never going to answer our actual questions because I've submitted actual questions to their Q&A. They very much cherry pick their questions, and they always take like 1 or 2 sort of medium questions and then deflect. But they don't actually even like post the hard questions. As far as State of the Galaxy goes, it's kind of just a filler for Road Ahead since we already know that Lightside TV is going to be next, kind of like what they said. And it just felt like, hey guys, we're going to try and make it look like, maybe not try and look, we're going to communicate with you so you get less pissed at us when we beat you over the head with our money stick. That's how it feels to me right now. Thoughts, DPK?
I mean, that's pretty much nail on the head right there. They want to make us hopeful. They give us something to try to, enjoy. but in reality, it's just going to be, oh, here's something else you got to spend money on because, hey, CG loves money. And you guys should love spending it.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of slowly losing faith. So that's kind of unfortunate.
Yep.
So, Ladypool, do you have any thoughts on either of those questions since we only have two?
No, Ian threw one in there. Who's excited for pod racing?
I'm excited for the Anakin meme.
It's working. It's working.
I'm excited. I'm excited to like be on a voice chat and then like occasionally just be like, now this is what I call pod racing, and then have them and then have everyone guess what activity I'm actually doing. Right? I'm trying to keep it PG.
It's working. Anyway, great. I think
So we're gonna
they need to do a little more work on clones. By the way, it's one of my thoughts.
Oh, them? CG?
Yeah, CG. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we will. So to kind of just wind...
Because
Sorry, go ahead.
We touched on it with Urs last night, actually, in the after show. I honestly think that Cody, I'm in total agreement with somebody else who mentioned this there. Cody, I think, needs either a little bit of a rework or needs to have the his fleet. What was it called?
212th Attack Battalion.
The 212th Attack Battalion.
212th Attack Battalion.
I don't think we're getting a Cody rework. I don't see it.
No, it's probably going to be asking too much, but
it's probably going to be this spring.
I think it should be a thing.
Maybe this spring. They specifically mentioned 501st, and I don't think they're going to do multiple clone factions. I think we're going to see like two. We're going to see 1 to 3 more 501st characters, is my guess. And then when Clone Wars actually kicks off, like this spring, we'll probably see more Clone Wars content. They did mention that they would get better over time, which makes me think that they're only going to touch on one faction. Because you also have to remember they have Jedi to rework too. This isn't just like a 501st thing. This is also like they already alluded to Kiadi Mundi. I don't want a Mace rework, but I know everybody else wants a Mace rework.
I wouldn't.
We still have people like. Yeah, we still have like Plo Koon, who's an average at best character. Kit Fisto, who's kind of poopy. Right, like we have all these day one characters that are just like super mediocre in the game, and I think that we're going to get some of those guys reworked as well. So I don't think we're looking at the 212th or whatever Pons was a part of. That was Mace's company.
That was I forget.
Yeah, I forget what that one was called off the top of my head. But I think we're only going to get 501st. I could obviously be wrong, but from the way CG has been like doing all these forced metas and like reworking one faction at a time, I don't see us getting any 212th attack battalion characters. I think we're going to stick the remaining clones with Shaak Ti and call it a day.
Yeah, that's a good.
So
no, Heinze, don't you do that, Trish. Get out of here. Rose doesn't need a rework. Get out of here.
Rose is actually like a decent character. She doesn't really need a rework. She actually has a pretty good kit. She gains turn meter on exposes. Like she goes a lot, especially if you put her under JTR and she like exposes us herself. Yeah, because then whenever she crits, she'll expose. Yeah, I don't know. I think her kit is actually fine. I think the problem is that C-3PO and BB-8 are also resistance, right? So a lot of teams suffer from that problem. Where like I don't really use any of the droids with JTR except for BB-8, so that forces me to like have other resistance characters geared up. I chose Holdo because AoE days I think is more important, but it's all about just building your teams the way you want to build them. Yeah, Ian nailed it. They'll do the bare minimum for these Clone Wars reworks, and then hardcore focus for the next movie, and then other TV shows. Yep. So to kind of wind down on the Swugga stuff, we'll kind of do this. We'll kind of bridge the intro. In the future, hopefully, we'll have other people talking about other games during this section. But we're going to be.
You just mentioned other games. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So like Paul, I talked to Paul Anthony about recording him talking about the fishing game they've been playing, or talking to Dojison, who's been working on One Punch Man, right? So like the stuff like that, having like a short 5 to 8 minute break in between for the podcast between the Swugga stuff and the football. You know, the stuff people are actually here to talk about, the football and the Marvel Strike Force.
Bring up with this then.
So we're gonna be doing a few announcements here, I guess. This will be the last show from this YouTube account.
Yes.
We will be moving over to our own. We created a joint YouTube account that's called DPK Dagger, and Dan and Kyle Do Hollywood will be moved there, as well as our GA streams. DPK will still put out content. I will still help him in any way with that if he wants to do stuff on this channel. But we will be moving the podcast to a different channel. I think DPK is going to be uploading them to his channel, and so like, for example, Tuesday, he will have the podcast up on his channel. We will. DPK, you're going to put the link in the description, right?
Yes. That's
okay.
What I was doing.
And we have a couple more announcements if DPK remembers them.
Probably does not.
Yeah, probably doesn't.
Announcements. What announcements? I'm confused.
He's gonna go look and see if he can find the announcements.
Right? That's exactly what he's doing right now.
He's frantically scrolling through Discord looking.
I'm sorry. The quote unquote hurricane this week, and I'm a little bit scatterbrained, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. So basically it has to do with the future of this, the structure of the podcast. We touched on it last week.
Oh, right. So, as you guys are aware, we don't want just this podcast to be just Swugga. We all share most of us share similar outside interests. Sorry. And we want to be able to share that with you guys as well. So it's not only going to be about Swugga. I know most of you guys play, probably about at least 95% of the, how many people are watching? At least 90% of the people in chat right now are Swugga players, plain and simple. So obviously the beginning of our podcast is going to be about Swugga, but the other part of it is going to be outside interests. Like just recently, me, Dagger, and Fruit Guy all got in the same alliance in Marvel Strike Force.
How does that not surprise me?
R.I.P. our alliance lead, right?
Yeah, pretty much. R.I.P. R.I.P. That dude has no idea what he just did. Like, Jesus.
But it's something.
Understand the amount of insanity you have brought upon yourself.
We've actually tried to, or we've thought about joining guilds in Swugga, but due to
we're all in leadership.
I've helped turn around my guild, and we've gone really, I've helped build something that I really love and I love being around. So there's that. We want to be in the same guild. We want to play together. I think that would be, help us with the game at least a little bit. I know me and Dagger have both probably said that honestly, I kind of want to play with friends. But at the same time, I've been in the guild I've been in for a year and a half. I'm not saying that they're not my friends, but I do, and that I do enjoy being around them. So it's a hard decision at the end of the day.
Yeah. So to kind of touch on some of the comments, the Mandalorian. I doubt we'll get any Mandalorian characters till next summer. I assume we will get Resistance TV shows characters at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, maybe only a couple. The show wasn't particularly good, wasn't successful, so I don't think we're going to get all of the characters. But I think we'll get a couple because I think they pop up in books and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm also kind of excited for Disney Plus.
Yes.
I'm going to be excited, and Obi-Wan this spring. Or maybe not this spring, but filming this spring maybe. I don't know when it's actually coming out.
Disney Plus and The Mandalorian. That's what I'm excited about.
Yes, The Mandalorian is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Pedro Pascal is amazing.
Yes. All the freaking yes.
Yes. So, yeah, basically we're going to now take the next half hour to 45 minutes or so to just kind of like talk about just kind of BS, talk about sports, talk about Marvel Strike Force. If you guys have your NFL team, you can go ahead and post who your team is in the chat. My top 5 teams that I watch are
Jaguars. Sucks.
No. Well, yeah, the Jaguars are awful. But the Baltimore Ravens is my number 1 team. I root for them first. I root for whoever's playing the Steelers second. I root for the Vikings third. I root for whoever's playing the Packers fourth. And I root for the Patriots fifth.
Whoever's playing the Packers, I root for you.
Absolutely, Packer fans suck. There's nothing against the Packers. It's just like I have too many friends that are Packer fans, and like 99% of them just suck as human beings. And then whenever they win, they rub it in your face, and they're like, we won a Super Bowl." I'm like, "Well, we won a Super Bowl too, so go yourself." So, you've had a tough decade, Ray Rock. Lions and Redskins.
Oh my goodness.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah.
Nev, that's what she said.
Not to you.
I didn't say that. I just said that's what she said.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
I'm not even tabbed in, so I don't know what was said.
That's okay.
You said it's huge.
That was not what was said.
Yeah, totally not. Totally not what was said.
Poor Colts. Poor Colts. Andrew Luck got sand in his vagina one too many times.
Yep.
Dude, okay, so the Jaguar games this past Sunday, was so boring that even CBS was like, yeah, we're going to move it to a more interesting game now. Both of our mainstream quarterbacks are gone. We're on our third string now, and if that one gets injured for the season, we're screwed. I'm just sitting here like, wow.
Is Blake Bortles still available?
No.
I believe they released him a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
either way, it's just a big ball of what the F, guys. What the F.
No, it looks like Blake Bortles is a free agent.
I mean, if they want a
he plays for...
If they want a third string quarterback that they don't already have, go right ahead and get them.
Well, I'm saying if their third string quarterbacks if their third string quarterback gets hurt, they can always bring back Blake Bortles.
At least he knows the offense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, then they can boo a familiar face.
And he should be used to the boos.
Only person ever to be booed off the field during a preseason game is Blake Bortles. I don't know if that's actually true, but I know he was booed off the field in the preseason game.
That's probably a good possibility.
I don't know if he was the only one ever, but it sure was funny to. Yeah, but being a fair weather fan is not that big a deal. I have my two favorite teams. My favorite team is the Baltimore Ravens. I live in Minnesota, so that makes me a homer. I always try and root for the hometown team. Right? That's just what I do. And then
I'm from Jacksonville, and I don't even root for my hometown team.
Well, it all depends on how you were raised. Like, I was born in Wisconsin, and I fucking hate the Packers.
Hey,
I get one.
Language.
I get one. But, no, and then also like the Patriots, I always say, like, this game-recognized game, or game-respect game. If you call yourself a football fan, you better enjoy watching the Patriots, because you're going to be talking to your grandkids about it in 30, 40 years. I got to watch Tom Brady play. Or, Grandpa, what was it like to watch Tom Brady play? Well, you can tell them. And then you can be a salty old bitter man then. Well, you see, what happened was my team never got to win because Tom Brady existed.
Because Tom Brady existed. Oh, Lord.
No, but in all seriousness, like, I love watching dynasties, like the Spurs in basketball for like when they had Tim Duncan, right?
Oh, yeah.
I loved watching those teams because they're just well-oiled machines, day in, day out, win, lose. It's just beautiful. So I'm happy the Steelers got blown out on national TV. The Ravens beat some college football team from Florida. And the Vikings beat Atlanta.
Who the fuck did the Ravens beat?
Miami.
Oh. Sitting like, what? Where did I miss this? What?
Yeah, they're like a college team, right? That's what the Miami Dolphins are. They're in the SEC, right?
At this point.
Right. They're in the SEC. We traded them for Alabama. Alabama now plays in the NFL. Yeah, so just to kind of talk about what DPK mentioned earlier too, I've really been enjoying Marvel Strike Force because for the main reason I can log in and all the toys that I have in this game,
all the toys
I can play with. Well, absolutely. Parents understand when I say all the toys. Parents get it. If I want you to play with your toys. That's why I got them. Right? CG's like that really bad parent who's like, here's all your toys. Now go do your homework.
Yeah.
Oh, you said homework. I forgot about homework tonight with my kid.
Here's all your toys. Okay. Now go do your homework. They're too young enough to matter. But yeah, I don't know. DPK, where are you as far as football goes this year so far?
I don't think he's had time to.
I really haven't. But I'm a Packers fan. I grew up in Wisconsin. I rooted for the Jaguars the year they should have beaten the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, but they didn't because somebody likes to...
Tom Brady existed?
Because Tom Brady existed and someone's really good at fellatio.
Oh, what happened to speak PG?
I mean...
Well, can we confirm that it's not Lady Pool?
We can confirm that it's not Lady Pool. Also, the link to the new link to the new channel is in the. I put it in the description, but I don't think it's changes were not saved. Having an issue saving it or whatever. So I posted the new channel link in the live chat. If you guys want to, go ahead and like and subscribe. There's not any videos yet. Tomorrow I'm going to sit and try to get the current ones downloaded and moved over. So bear with me.
Yeah, we need to sit down. We need to sit down with Fru Guy and get a couple technical things settled out. But I'll be posting my GAC final on there. Just to get a couple of things up on the show.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. Man, it's been a slow week sports-wise, except for the NFL season.
The Packers won.
But even
they
then,
beat the Bears.
No one won in that game. The Packers walked away with a W, but no one won. Not even the people watching. That game was so garbage. The Green Bay game is what happens when both teams start their offenses or sit their offenses in the preseason. So, no, that game was... I like a good defensive game. Don't get me wrong. 10-3 is a solid score. Except when the reason it's 10-3 is that the Bears' offense didn't know how to get a first down.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers just couldn't complete a pass, for 2 quarters. So, don't get me wrong. I'm glad football's back, but it better. Or
so
hopefully
you
better.
think? Yeah, I was about to say. So you hope.
Well, less rusty. There were so many drops this last weekend.
Yeah, they're
like this. I didn't count, but it felt like the Steelers had like 10 or 15 drops. Like just no one was running good routes. It seemed like no one had good hands. Man, football's back.
Nobody had good blocking.
Football's back, and there were a couple of good games. The problem was that it wasn't the Thursday night game, and it wasn't the Sunday night game. Hey, and then looks like Flacco's starting for Denver.
Oh wow, they got Flacco?
Well, Saints won. Well, are going to win, it looks like. So, I forget who it was. I think it was Ray Rock in the chat. You at least have this W. So congratulations. Well, it's not lucky that AB didn't play against them. It's that he couldn't. He had to you basically have to sit down for like 4 days before you switch teams, and he switched teams on Saturday. There's like a cooldown period, right? I mean, also, this may be one of the best receiving corps Tom Brady's ever had, and he's won a bunch of Super Bowls with nothing.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel you, Ray Rock. In my office pool, I'm not doing too well either. Well, I feel good because the 3 most confident games. So, we rank them from like our most confident game to our least confident game, and we get points based on that, based on the spread. So, my three most confident ones was that the Patriots would blow out the Steelers, that the Ravens would blow out the Dolphins, and that the Vikings would blow out the Falcons. Because all 3 of those teams were garbage. Well, Atlanta's not garbage. They're just, not particularly good this year.
Don't tell my roommate that.
He just walked back into his room, too.
When the Falcons learn how to play a second half, we can talk.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that last night. He was not happy.
Are they talking about? They're talking about Wicket. They're talking about Ewoks in the chat. The English Ewoks beat the Australian Ewoks in a game of Wicket and Paplu and all the low grades.
Did someone get punted? I don't know what this sport is.
I don't either, to be honest. He quit. Pretty sure Can't Touch quit the game. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if he's alive. I would, hope he's alive and at least doing well. But yeah, Brainkill is in his shard and he AFK'd on both his accounts. Heinzie bloody Yanks. See, I will continue to make fun of your sport that uses Ewoks until someone explains to me the rules. Because I asked in Paul and Scotty's Discord server for like a TLDR on cricket, and I forget who it was gave me like, well, why don't you just get cultured? I'm like, all right, why don't you stop playing with Ewoks? Right? Like, you clearly said wicket, which clearly means you're playing with a midget.
A furry midget at that.
Right?
Oh, dear Jeebus.
Rayrock, only 2 of them were in the same shard with Brainkill. I honestly don't know how many accounts he has. I know he has multiple, but the 2 that were in the same shard with Brainkill both went inactive. But yeah, so that's kind of like my own little like inside joke about like cricket. So whenever I'm around and somebody brings it up in the Escape podcast, I just always say like, "Are we talking about Ewoks again?" And I like post a picture of the development of my Ewoks. And I was like, and I put like an arrow, like, "There's my wicket." So.
Yes, Heinzie. Exactly. No, I don't.
You would
don't really understand cricket myself.
Okay, first of all, would like describing caviar to a pig? I don't know. Do you like describing caviar to a pig? I mean, you're missing the B in there for that to be an insult. So.
Well,
I mean,
us Americans.
Also, I've had caviar. I've had caviar and hard pass.
Yeah.
Blech.
Yeah.
Gross.
That. I understand it as like a rich food or like a snooty food, uppity food here in the U.S. at least.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's up there with like anchovies.
It's an acquired taste.
And sushi.
Kind of like mussels.
Yeah.
Mussels are also an acquired taste, but I actually like mussels. But I don't like sushi unless it's crab. I like crab, but other than that, no.
I imagine Nev said that in like the way of Doyle rules. No, see, we here in America, we have these things called real professional sports. So when you look at like when you look at television ratings, the 2 most popular sports are NBA basketball and NFL football. And that's not here in the U.S.
No, nobody likes baseball in America.
But
not
like
real people. Not real people.
What you call football or what we call soccer is third.
Which is so funny story about.
Go look it up.
Hey, that's not cool. They took out my.
And if you were curious,
for not paying attention.
So actually, the World Series comes from a time when the rest of the world did play baseball. So,
dude, the World Series makes me
those
sad.
People don't matter.
If you look at Nev, if you look at the worldwide TV ratings and you look at the rating shares, no, cricket is like 8th or something. I'd have to pull it up, but NBA basketball and NFL football are the top 2 market shares when they are on. Right? So when the NBA Finals is on, worldwide, the NBA has the highest viewership share of anything on TV. And those numbers are much higher than anything cricket or soccer puts up. So that's where those numbers come from. If you were curious to where I was getting these numbers from, when the NFL playoffs are on, their share of people watching them is much higher than any of those other sports. So, at any one time during the playoffs of a sport, right, the apex, plus like the NFL owns a day of the week. Cricket doesn't own a day of the week.
They might in other countries.
Nah. I mean, everyone can like the sports they like. You just have to admit that the sports you like just aren't real sports.
It's okay.
Playing with Ewoks is not a sport. I'm sorry. Soccer's a sport the same way cross country's a sport.
It just exists?
Yeah, it's like an activity. It's like golf. You kind of get sweaty. You get a good workout.
No.
Nev, I would direct you to the NFL playoffs because you are incorrect, sir. The
What?
Super Bowl actually has the highest ratings across the entire world of any event. So that's why other countries call their thing the Super Bowl of blank. So, anyways. Yeah, so
you mentioned the World Series, and now I'm sad.
Baseball?
Yeah. My pops was a massive Cubs fan. And they won the year that he passed.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He didn't get to see them. He passed right before they won, so he wouldn't have remembered it anyway because he had dementia. But still, it's one of those things that I'm just like, let's not go there. Move on.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I loved baseball for most of my life until I quit playing it, and then I just couldn't motivate myself to follow it. Some of it's like you said, it's a little painful, but yeah, I've been enjoying reaching out and playing other games. I recently put down Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
That game was a little bit too much of a grind. Yeah, I'm just kind of branching out, and I think most people at this point are kind of looking for, if you want to game more, you're looking for something else. I would love to have Swugga have more content, but as much as I love like even having GAC going and stuff like that, like GAC still only takes like an hour of your day. The one thing I do love about Swugga right now is that it's a wonderful spectator game, right? The streaming of the community that streams, God bless you all.
Speaking
right?
of which,
Urs, Arnold, Cubs.
Speaking of which,
keep doing what you're doing, guys. All the smaller ones that do it.
Yes, even like a channel like us, you know, we're trying to get off the ground. It's the Soga community is actually a great community. I actually
worldwide community too, which is the other cool thing too.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gotten to talk to. I also play a lot of. I've also used to play a ton of Magic the Gathering, so I also got to like meet people at Grand Prix from other countries, and it's always wonderful to talk to people who have not only different backgrounds than you, but like different cultures. And here in America, outside of a lot of the drama going on, and you still get to experience a lot of those cultures. Like we still have a lot of diversity here, which is kind of cool. But you still don't get the raw like culture that you get by being friends with someone who's like actually lives there, right? So like I have a couple of buddies who actually live in Japan, were raised in Japan, and they just like have different viewpoints than like the displaced Japanese Americans. I shouldn't say displaced. That has negative connotations, right? But like the people who moved to America from other places, it's sometimes nice to talk to people that like get to go to like the festivals and stuff. Anyways, it's really cool. It's really cool to meet people from around the world, and except for Australia.
Those guys are kind of dodgy.
You know, yeah. Australia, like I've met a couple kangaroos in my life, and I mean,
they seemed
pass.
They seemed all right until they got into your face.
I played Spyro, so Sheila was a pretty cool kangaroo, right? She was pretty cool. Yeah, and don't worry, Australians. You guys sound just like British people. You can get rid of that insecurity now. You do have the same accent. You talk funny. By having the same accent, I mean you talk funny. And no one's ever going to listen to this podcast ever again because I am making fun of people who have a British accent. So I have a buddy, Louis, who lives in London, and he always gets mad at me because I tell him I can't tell the difference between like an English accent and an Australian accent. I can, but that doesn't. But if I tell him that, then he doesn't get irritated at me. Oh, I know, Heinzie, I know. My voice is hilarious. Mostly because I'm usually telling jokes. But yes, I suppose from your side, it would sound like I'm talking funny.
In reality, you guys all talk funny.
See, I live in this world where I'm right, so I'm obviously not the one who talks funny. Because all the people I surround myself with talk sort of like me.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, Nev. That's a terrible, terrible thing. I'm so glad I don't get told I talk like an Australian.
Really, Nev? I don't think you were. I didn't think you were Australian. I was mildly surprised that you were like. The first time I talked to you on a voice chat, I was mildly surprised that you were up at like 10 p.m. here in the U.S. because I just assumed you lived in, somewhere in England. And it turns out that you didn't.
But anyways, on the subject of this community being amazing, I reached out to Paul. Scotty should be. I'm gonna be sending him a message probably tomorrow to remind him to record his for next week. I reached out to Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and he obliged with an awesome sound bit as well as hers. And I'm gonna play them real quick. Here's Going Nerdies.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and you're listening to Tinfoil Timmy Time with Deadpool Kyle.
That was Going Nerdies. I really liked him. I've actually talked to him. He's a really cool guy. And that's going to be the intro to our Tinfoil Timmy Time, which is our basically speculation themed talk. This week, other than the relics, there wasn't really much to speculate on. We're getting relics, and eventually more mods.
And I would also like to kind of again apologize for I don't want to call it the shakiness of the show, but man, we had the host and our support person just not show up to the two different content meetings we had. So the work going behind the scenes was just going on behind the scenes, didn't exist this week. So we just kind of winged it. So there was a lot of ums and sloppiness, and I do apologize for that. But I think we're going to wind it up here, or close it down.
Well, I got one more sound bit from Urs. Because we actually did skip this, because I think we kind of crunched on time, but this is the intro, and after this we'll wrap it up, and basically we'll say how we did in our GACs. Come on, just play.
Hey everyone, it is the heartthrob of the Outer Rim, and I'm here to welcome you to the greatest Grand Arena Championship entertainer on YouTube, baby. Prepare your roster. Will you be ice cold, or will you be hot? Red hot.
That was from Urs. He was very. I'm very gracious that I love him. He's an awesome dude. He recorded that for us. So who was red hot and who was ice cold in their Grand Arena? Dagger?
Well, you were ice cold because you suck, and I won my GA again.
I actually won my GA. I got first.
Well, you got first because the guy in the finals didn't attack you. Let's put all our cards on the table. You got first because your finals opponent did not attack.
Well, actually, so after, funny story, he actually messaged me about 20 minutes before we.
Did he tell you that he looked at your roster and thought that you needed this one Zeta mat more than he did?
I don't know, but I yesterday during the streaming, I messaged him. I was like, well, my game froze and kind of locked me out of winning one on your GG team. Good game, bud. Enjoy the win. He messaged me right before the podcast and was like, I'm a lot of things, but I won't win like that. Congrats. So he gave me the win. So.
Oh, so it was a pity win. Congratulations. You didn't.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your opponent looking at your roster and feeling the utmost pity for you. And the best part is that he really doesn't even get punished for that because the rewards from GAC suck.
Yeah, there's a couple more currency and one more Zeta.
It's a pride thing.
I
don't want to lose because it's a pride thing. I mean, if I lost the first one in the first week, and my shard was basically like, why are you so bent out of shape? Like, and like you lost like X, Y, and Z, and it's like, okay, fine, you're right. I just don't like losing. Which is why DPK is a friend. I get to win a lot.
Sure. Little does he know we just let him win.
See, you say that. Well, I think we're going to call that a show because it is 9:30 my time, which is kind of the cutoff for.
Yep, it is. It's time for us to head out. Like we said earlier, next week we're going to be moving to the new channel. It should be in the description. I don't know why it's not showing up, but I posted it in the chat, and here it is again. Thank you guys for coming out. Like I said, head over to the other channel, give us a like, hit the bell if you want, or subscribe, whatever. Do the YouTube-y, clickbaity things that all the
and don't forget to give this video a thumbs down.
Yes, please do give this video a thumbs down because it goes against a running bet, I guess you would say. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Letting us take up 2 hours of your time. A little less than 2 hours because we ran a little late. But
and we hope you continue to incinerate those 2 hours with us next week, considering time is our most precious resource, and you're just giving it to us for free.
Exactly. Thanks again, guys, and have a good night.